Hey everyone, I'm Isaac Maring and I run and own a lawn maintenance business at 20 years old. And in this video, I really want to talk about anyone who's really, at any age, but probably younger. And something I really learned from at a young age when I was maybe in middle school from a hockey coach that tried to lead a team that wasn't the best. And at that time, not a lot of us understood these lessons entirely, but this one lesson stuck with me until really today, and I still use that today. And I didn't realize how much I would use this on a day-to-day, on every season, on every hard decision, on anything that I have to do that might be hard, and in any area of life, not just business, fitness, like anything that you might need, any decision, relationship, absolutely any area. And I didn't realize it would spread across this much, being that I was taught it at a young age with just the sport of hockey. And my coach at the time, honestly, he was leading a team that didn't understand how to learn, didn't understand how to work hard, didn't understand what it meant to become good, what it meant to become great. And it was tough. But this one thing that if we used it, we probably would have pushed ourselves a lot harder. We would have understood what was on the other side from bad to good. And we probably wouldn't have let up as much if we truly understood it and applied it. And moving to my future years, I ended up using this. It just kept coming up in many instances where I might have felt like I was falling short, like I wasn't good enough, like I just couldn't go any further, like I just had to stop, like there was just no reason for me to keep going, like there was absolutely no way I could get out of something, that it was just going to be that. Like that's where I was. I wasn't going any further. At any of these points, there comes a wall. And he taught us about this wall. And it's not the walls that might be surrounding you right now within your room, your living room, kitchen, wherever you are. And in my case, well, the 4 doors and windows in my truck. And it's not usually a wall that you can actually see. It's not a wall that you fully understand. It's not a wall you know how big it is. It's not a wall that you can always just find a door and turn the knob and walk right through. As there is some walls just like that, I don't believe that is the real one. There's walls where it has many doors. There's walls with an open door already. There's walls with a window open. There is maybe a wall that is super solid, but it's locked. And you might have to go find the key to get through. And that's still not the wall I'm talking about. Because the wall I'm talking about is the one that after you get through all of those, after you get the paper thin wall that you just walk right through because it wasn't anything anyways, or the curtain that you just slide right over because there wasn't a wall, it just was disguised as one. That door, you could have just opened the door handle. The door that was locked but you needed a key. The door that was locked but didn't have a key but you got a locksmith to open it anyways. That window that you just could have opened up. The window that wasn't meant to be opened but you could break through it because you just shattered the glass. And it's not any of those. It's the wall where if you were to be in a jail cell without a door, without a gate, you were placed in there and the walls were built up around you. Cement, thick walls. And these walls you can't just walk into. These walls you can't just punch and get through. These walls are so hard and so thick that it keeps you thinking that is your play box. That is it. You are stuck. That is the only way you're going to be living, is just within that box. And I think when we're born, we're introduced to these boxes. We're introduced to these walls. We are maybe coddled, maybe we were protected by the loved ones. We had these small walls where they were there. It's just you had to get to a certain point and a certain age before you were allowed to just go through them. And I think maybe some people's instances more than others, they could have had thicker walls at a younger age. They could have had walls that were built around them that they had no choice of building. And all you want to do is get outside of them, or you don't even know they're there because you're so used to playing in between the boundaries, in between those walls. But if you understood that current you was inside those walls and who you wanted to become was outside those walls, how hard would you try to get through? If better you, more fulfilled you had more, you achieved more, you were capable of more, on the other side of that wall, how hard would you want to bust through it? If you were more free, if you were exactly who you've always dreamed you could be on the other side of that wall. And no, this isn't just a dream sesh. It's whoever you want to be, you have to get through that wall to become it. And when you realize that it's not just hitting that wall and saying, that's it, that's enough, I'm stuck here, and then dying inside of your living body for the rest of your life. Because in fact, if you just stop and you say that's it, you're dead. You're not doing anything. You're just waiting until your own corpse just decides it's there. It's you just waiting for your brain and heart to say we're done, we're checked out. That's not a way to live a life. That is not a way that you can provide to yourself. And if you want to stay in those boxes, that's how it's going to be. And so if you're in a spot where you don't understand why you might feel like dead inside, because you feel like there's nothing in your life, it might be because you haven't gotten outside of that wall. It might be because you hit that wall and said, that's it. I'm sticking right where I am. I'm good. I have plenty. It's fine. You're right. The other side just way too hard. And your mind starts making up all these excuses. Your mind starts telling you you can't do it. Your mind starts telling you that was it. And it starts making you feel like that entirely inside. You're physically exhausted. You're physically cannot, your body is telling you it's done. It's like, no, okay, that's enough. Like, we've had our fun. It's time to be done. Like, we can stop now. Like, that was cool. I mean, we had fun. It wasn't really hurting when we were doing it before. So like, let's just stay where we're at. That's what your body physically and mentally might be telling you. And it might be so strong at certain points. You absolutely believe it yourself and you act in ways where you just let your body stop. And I'm not talking that there isn't points where you should rest, because our body needs rest. And I'm not talking that you don't need fuel for your body. There isn't certain things that you have to give yourself. But no, those are never the reasons why you can't. Go rest your body. Prepare to go through that wall. It's not like that wall was built and you said, okay, We're good. There's no way else. No other way I can get through it. It was built there for you to bust through and get to the other side to actually see the new you. Because in fact, maybe in this scenario, the grass might be a little bit greener. And it might not be greener in the way you thought it would be. But it is greener in the ways that you needed it to be. And that's what's more important, is you understanding that you might have wanted on the other side of the wall. There might be all these wants. There's all these desires of what you want. And you think you might have everything, you need, you want, whatever, you're fine. It's too hard to go do that thing because there's just no point. But what if you broke through that wall and you were taught everything you needed and you were shown everything you needed and you created yourself to everything you needed, and that's what actually made you get to where you wanted to go. That's what actually made you free in your life. That's what actually live abundantly. That's what actually helped you live to help others. And many times, and I was just running, and I was thinking about this wall, because many people who maybe are in sports have heard this saying, especially if you're running, because anybody who runs a marathon knows this wall. They've hit it before. It's this wall where your body literally just decides to try to shut down. But you have more in you, and you have to bust through that wall. It's telling you that you're done. Okay, you're cool. You could have only put in 30% of what you could actually do for yourself. Imagine the other 70%, because your body's trying to tell you to be comfortable, because that's what your mind needs to try to tell yourself, is to try to keep you safe, to keep you comfortable, because it's easier. Because why try to put yourself through pain? That's what your mind tries to tell you. And our bodies naturally try to do that. But we all know that lessons and growing take pain. We might not like it. Even though we actually might like it too. You might be someone that, I love pain. Give me it more. Your body still doesn't like it. Your mind doesn't. So you have to just keep pushing through it. And it's so much harder than you might realize. You might even be hearing this right now and you think, oh yeah, of course. Like I push through walls all the time. Those aren't the walls. Those are the curtains that you swiped away. The wall was when you said, all right, well, I've pushed all this way. I've pushed even extra. I pushed more. Okay, I'll let this one. It's good. I'm done. Like that's it. Like that's the best I could do. That's that wall. Where you think you've already actually put in your best. You've already gotten through every single small wall. Those aren't the real ones. You're expanded out. Think of it as each wall is expanded out into bigger areas. And each time you get through one, the next one is just so much harder. The next one's just so much harder. And so I think what people don't realize is they might be conquering walls within their physical life. You might be jacked. You might be going to the gym. You're like, I push through that wall every day. I know what you're talking about. But you don't do it with your mind. You don't do it with your skills. You don't do it within your work. You don't do it within your goals. You don't do it with your decisions. You don't do it with your relationships. You don't get through that wall. You may be lacking in other areas. And when you do, you have to decide you are getting to the other side. And it's going to be hard. It will probably hurt you. But it won't hurt you as bad as it will by staying where you are. And while you're trying to get through this wall, you could also have other people trying to tell you that it's good, you can stay where you are. You have other people that are telling you that you've done enough. You don't have to get through that next wall. You might have people that are telling you that they don't want you getting through that wall. That when you get through that wall, you're going to be a changed person and it's not the same. And that maybe that person doesn't align with you anymore. Maybe that person doesn't stay within your life. And that's where it happens in relationships. It's like you might have the outside noise also trying to keep you comfortable, also trying to keep you within those boundaries. And I'm not saying boundaries are bad. You need to create your boundaries. And make sure your boundaries are aligned with your own values and your goals. And understand yourself. Because you're the only one that can understand yourself the most. And you have to play where you need to play. And you have to bust through the walls you know that will get through. When you get through, it's going in the direction you need to. And it may not be exactly what you want to do. It may not be what anybody else wants you to do. But you know you need to do it. You need to bust right through it. You need to make that decision and commit to it. And sink all the ships behind you. Burn the boats. Get through it. There's no other way. And when you do that, you'll respect yourself more. When you do that, you'll learn the lessons you needed. And when you do that, you might gain the respect of the people that you actually needed in your life. Because even if they were afraid of maybe you going through that wall, going through it, making that decision, going through the pain, they respect that you made that decision and you got right through it. And when this applies to your work and when you're doing anything, it's like doing one more rep, one more phone call, one more ad, one more job, one more hour, one more anything. Like, just keep on going. Your body's going to tell you, okay, let's just go sit back on the couch. We're good. But then you weren't ever gifted the opportunity to be through that wall. And sometimes the opportunities lie only once you get through it. The opportunities you have inside your own walls right now, you might have outgrown. You've used them all up. You have to get through the next wall to find out what you can really do. And not what you can just do for yourself, what you can do for others, what you can do for the future you, and what you can do for past you. Because past you doesn't want you to be the same. And future you is just hoping you'll just make that switch, make that decision, make it, just go right through it. Future you's hoping that they can meet you. And you have to meet future you. And it's that wall that's stopping you. It's that wall that you think is the end of your boundaries. It's it. It's a one that you can never get through. And I've just seen it many, many times, especially since that was put into my head from a coach, when it was just from me thinking it was just about the hockey game. It was just about skating. It's like, okay, yes, we get tired, and then we just have to push through. because even though we're tired, we still have a game to play and we still have to perform. But it wasn't just about performing on the ice. It wasn't just about taking one more stride. It was about taking 1,000 more strides. It was about taking all the pain and understanding the pain's there, but you still have to perform. It's about just keep on going, not even one time, 1,000 times more. And that's where you'll meet new you, where you'll have to face another new wall. But that new you is already 1,000 times better than old you. And in your work and in your goals, it's just everything's the same. You always have a wall. Maybe it's within your emotional side. Maybe it's like in your head. Maybe it's physically, like you just need to push one more plate. But then I think most people just don't use it all around in their life. They only use it for like one little area. You got to work every single muscle, mentally, emotionally, physically, outside of you. Within your own skills and communications, like, are you doing the best for others? Or are you letting the wall stop you? Are you giving back as much as you wanted? Are you letting the wall stop you? Are you communicating to people as much as you'd like to support them? Or are you letting the wall stop you? Are you giving people the right truth? Are you giving people honest feedback? Are you constructively criticizing people so that you can help support them? Or are you just trying to be nice and trying to be liked all the time? And not trying to get into any argument or just try to start a battle? Or are you not trying to confront anything? You have to confront that wall. Are you not talking to people with what you need to say to them because you're letting the wall stop you? Are you not cutting things off? Are you not making a decision? Are you not stepping into the new you? Are you not making it so that past you is not even like, it doesn't even matter? Whereas you used to be able to maybe do 10 reps of 100 pounds on the bar. But then you just keep going and you keep adding more plates. You keep pushing one more rep. And then next thing you know, you're hitting 150 pounds. And then you're at 170. Then you're 180. And then you're just so strong and you're jacked and you're benching 200, and then you're becoming a bodybuilder and just benching 250. Like, how much are you pushing yourself? And I think you can always push yourself more than you think, more than your body believes. And you think all the opportunities are gone. You think there's nothing else you can do. And so you try to seek everybody else's approval. You try to seek answers from everybody else. You try to tell people that was it, that was enough. Like, that was all you could do. And so you just start believing it. And so you come up with these reasons of rationalizations of why you didn't go any further. And you tell everybody that. You tell yourself that. And that's not real. I mean, you can tell yourself the real of, there was a big wall and you just didn't want to get through it, you didn't care to, and you didn't. And you wanted to stick between the walls. You didn't want to be better. You didn't want to, you just want to stay where you were. And you just have to be honest with yourself. That's where you're at. Just also know that, like, you could let that side just die because you're not working that muscle anymore. All right, guys, hopefully you got a lot of value out of this. I think the wall just needed to be described more. I think it needed to be presented to more people in a lot of areas where you've probably heard of this before, but there's always one area you can be pushing through a wall, and it's not the easy walls that you can feel always great about. Even those are stepping stones, and that's never the wall. So go find the hardest wall and just keep going, because you can do more, and you don't need motivational speech to do it. And this isn't really meant to be motivational speech. It's meant to be real for you. Think about it next time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Follow along.